I think we may have to recut that spot. Did I say Fullerton RV? It's FullertonRW.com, ladies and gentlemen.
No, Fullerton RV is my kind of place there.
No, you don't.
Double
it's
wides,
not the right.
of course, anything that your heart desires.
I
And
think I may need to recut that
they're
spot.
willing to bargain, too.
Tell Eric Hines to pull that one. We may have to.
Fullerton RV.
Yeah, I think it's RW.com.
We'll get it taken
Maybe there's a better tape we can use instead of that particular one. We'll have to double check that. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Number one on that one.
Yeah, please, thank you.
Thank you.
Gotta make sure. FullertonRW.com is the site. All right, now we've got this big thing coming up. I'm Michael Horn. That's Paul Stern. You love the Santa Barbara wine country, Paul.
Ever since you first took me up to the Santa Barbara wine country, I've kind of looked to you to kind of lead the way, and you kind of turned me on to this whole place, Los Olivos, the whole area, and all that goes on up there. And here joining us is Steve Pepe, owner of Close Pepe, and here to talk about the latest going-ons.
What's going on there, Steve Pepe? Welcome here to the broadcast.
Thanks, guys. Good morning. Well, we're pretty excited about the wine auction that we're going to have in 10 days. It's Sunday, August 1st from 4 to 7 in Los Olivos, and we've assembled quite a stellar cast of wines. All have been donated by parishioners, but about half of them have come from non-parishioners, and we're up to now. We have 8 100-point wines, including the legendary 1947 Cheval Blanc, which, if you can believe it, we have 2 bottles of it in the auction.
Was that in the movie Sideways?
It was not. It's a Bordeaux.
It's
Cabernet.
a Bordeaux. Okay, so here's the deal, Steve Pepe, and I know you've you along with the other great vintners in the area, you have the great Clos Pepe Winery, which is in the Santa Rita Hills, and last time we talked about all the great wines you do. But this is a fundraiser that's coming up. And correct me if I'm wrong here. This is the first classic rare wine, fine wine auction that has ever been held in the Santa Barbara wine country.
Yeah, that's correct. There have been lots of wine auctions, but they've always involved local wines. In fact, there are no local wines on the auction catalog. It's all French, mostly French, Bordeaux, Burgundies. We have some Italian wines, and we have a couple from Washington State, the Qualcita Creek, which is a very well-known Cabernet vineyard, and we've got one Screaming Eagle, the 1993, which is from Napa. But other than that, all the other wines are from France.
So you had a 1947 Chateau Petrus, right?
Correct. That's another 100-point wine.
Unbelievable. A 1966 Chateau Latour is going to be auctioned off, correct?
Correct.
And a 1990 Chateau Lafite Rothschild.
Right, as well as we just had a recent donation of a 96 Lafite, which is another 100-point wine, and we've got a 1982 Lafite in Magnum, which I'm hoping I'll be able to get my dibs in on that one. That'd be a wonderful dinner party wine to have. It's again, another 100-pointer. It's a great vintage in a Magnum bottle, and it should be drinking perfectly right about now.
So for our audience, so we're not over anybody's head here, when you say a 100-point wine, what does that mean to the listener?
Well, what it means is that, and they're almost all Robert Parker 100 points, it means that Robert Parker rated this 100 out of 100. He gave it the highest award he can give a wine. And it's also some of them... we hear a lot of discussion about the Parker palate, but Broadbent rates the 47 Cheval Blanc 5 stars out of 5 stars, and he again concedes it's one of the greatest wines he's ever had.
So it's the rating system given by whoever's reviewing the wine or the magazine that's reviewing the wine. So when you're saying this, and we mentioned it before, the 47, as you mentioned, that this one had a 5-star out of 5-star and also a Parker 100-point wine rating on it. So this one's probably going to be one of those that's going to go. Now, what does a wine like that go for? If we're going to be bidding on the wine, what would be like a normal cost if we wanted to try to get one of these just on a website or something?
Well, you're probably not going to be able to do that on the website. These are such rare and extraordinary bottles that about the only time you're going to see them are at auctions.
Wow. So that makes this auction, this coming up on August 1st, this St. Mark's auction, very, very special because these wines are very hard to even find.
Absolutely. And the other advantage is you can check the bottle, you can look at the cork in the capsule and see the ullage, which is the airspace between the end of the cork and the wine, and you'll be able to take it home with you, so you don't have to worry about shipping and what's going to happen to it. And all the wines have been stored in folks' cellar, and we've got them now in one location, and we'll move them over to the church Sunday morning.
Steve Pepe is the owner of Clos Pepe, and he, along with a lot of other people, are putting on this great benefit auction. It's the St. Mark's Cellar Classic. It's a rare and fine wine auction coming up on Sunday, August 1st in Los Olivos, California. That is above Santa Barbara County. You mentioned, and by the way, where all the funds are going where?
Well, the funds are going to the church. But one of the reasons we've had so many non-parishioners support it is because the church acts as a community center for the Los Olivos area and the surrounding environs. A lot of folks have their meetings there. It's got a commercial kitchen, which the church lets people use without any charge. So, for example, Food Bank meets there, and I think it's kind of funny, Alcoholics Anonymous meets there, as well as other community organizations. The Santa Barbara Planning Department, often when it has to have a public meeting, will use the facilities. A lot of the local theater folks use the church or the Stacy Hall to practice their plays when they're in rehearsals. Musicians use it for things of that nature. So it really is a community or center type, and folks have recognized it, and that's why I've been surprised that
it's a landmark up there. Yeah, it's a landmark in the Los Olivos, Santa Ynez Valley up there. It's really special. Now, when you say you look at the wines and you can see the space between the cork and the wine, you're looking for what, evaporation? You don't want to see too much space between there?
Correct. It's the word is ullage, and normally you're going to want to see. Expect in a 30, 40, 50-year-old wine, you're going to expect that there'll be some greater space than when it comes off the bottling line. But if the wine was down below the shoulder, using a Bordeaux bottle, for example, you'd get a little concerned. But
right.
Mid-shoulder is where it ought to be because the wine has been stored for 40 or 50 years, and there will be some small amount of evaporation.
So this should be kind of fun to go ahead and actually own one of these bottles, and as you say, have a special dinner party to enjoy them.
Yeah, and again, the chances, I drink a lot of wine. I've never had a 47 Cheval Blanc or Petrus, and my guess is this will probably be the only time, unless I win the lottery, that I'm going to have an opportunity to do this.
Now, how do we get there? How do we get information? Is it free to get there? Is there a donation to get into it? How do you get in?
Yeah, there's a $100 admission, and if you show up on the day of the event without a prior registration, then it's $125. You can go to the church's website, which is www.smitv, St. Mark's in the Valley, .org, O-R-G. And you can sign up there, or you can mail your check into the church at Post Office Box 39, Los Olivos, California, 93441. Or you can call me or get on my website. Any of those will work.
Post Office Box 39, Los Olivos, California, 93441, or go to the website www.smitv.org. Hey, Steve Pepe, Good Wines at Clos Pepe. We're going to be looking forward to this auction. Thank you.
You have a mortgage and a load of other debt. Wouldn't it be great if it all just went away? No more mortgage can change your life.
We paid off